Please put your hands together and welcome Orion's President of Wealth Management, Ron Pruitt.
I like pleasure spiked with pain, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Sober, sweet, and sour Jane, and music is...
How's everyone doing today? All right. Show of hands. How many flew in this week from someplace across the country? Probably a few less hands from those in the Northeast. I fly more than I'd like to admit, over 100 flights a year. And when I think of flying, it's not really just getting from point A to point B. Reflect on your travels this last week. Did you change your flight to get here? Did you check your upgrade status on the way to the airport? Did you get that early boarding to make sure you weren't the one that had to check your bag? Airlines have figured something out. They invest heavily in rewards programs. They know for those of us that fly often, it's about that personal touch. The upgrade, boarding a little sooner, a little extra leg room, making the experience just a little bit easier for you as an individual. It's about deepening the personal connection between the airline and you, making your day a little easier, making it about you. But here's the thing, you still need to get to where you're going. And when you think about your practice, your firm, your business objectives, you got a lot of places you need to be. You always have the choice to drive. For that matter, you could walk. But is that efficient? Is that scalable? That's where working with Orion comes in. We're that force multiplier that Natalie spoke to yesterday. And whether you know us as tech or wealth, it's about getting you where you need to be. It's that transformation that Reed just spoke to. And for every advisor in the room, it's about helping your clients meet their expectations, giving them confidence, getting them where they need to go. But scale alone isn't enough. When you trust someone else to help you get there, you need to know you can count on them. Now, you've heard this before. We know advisors who work with us grow faster. The data shows it. Orion advisors had a 40% higher average organic growth rate in 2025. That's not luck. That's leverage. It's having the systems, the discipline, the support to do more without sacrificing quality. When you partner with us, you're multiplying your capacity. You're getting time back to focus on what matters most, building deep and lasting client relationships. But here's what matters just as much as efficiency: certainty. Growth without discipline is chaos. No one wants chaos. You heard a lot about relentless yesterday from Natalie. You're going to hear more about that today from Tim Grover. I'd like to share with you how I think about being relentless. Markets are turbulent. Your clients face uncertainty every day. Volatility creates the temptation to bail when things get rough. What keeps them on track? Discipline. A relentless focus on process. Doing the small things right over and over and over again. So when the hard times come, you're ready. I've been thinking a lot about what that looks like. Being ready when everything seems to be falling apart. And I keep coming back to 2009, the global financial crisis. Economists called that financial contagion. Earlier this year, I caught a movie that serves as the inspiration for my presentation this morning. Many of us remember what 2009 felt like. Every conversation was about keeping people grounded when nothing felt certain. I was reminded of Pam, a character in this movie, mother of 2 teenagers who worked in our industry. Pam had just wrapped up a business trip to New York and boarded a flight home to Charlotte. Pam was on US Airways Flight 1549 on January 15th. Both engines lost after a bird strike. Captain Sully Sullenberger lands the plane in the Hudson River. This came to be known as the miracle on the Hudson. And in 24 minutes after takeoff, 24 minutes, 5 ferry boat operators, 400 emergency operators, 1,200 first responders came together. Everyone was safe. As the ferry boat operators pulled individuals off the wings and out of the water, they said, "No one dies today." Now, here's what struck me about that event. It wasn't luck that saved everyone. It wasn't a miracle. Sully had prepared for that moment his entire career. Practice, training, doing the small, unglamorous work of preparation every day. When the moment came, he was ready. The flight attendants were ready. The first responders were ready. They were relentless. And Pam moved to the beach. She shifted her work to focus on women's economic empowerment. She chose to spend her time on what mattered most to her. Now, certainty is not about predicting a bird strike or a market crash. It's about being so disciplined, so relentlessly focused on process, that when turbulence hits, and it will, you're ready. Your clients are ready, and they stay the course. That's our focus. It's about creating the conditions for your clients to reach their goals, even when the markets feel like a bird strike. When investors know their portfolio was built specifically for them, it gives them the confidence that they are prepared, that they are ready. We're not talking about one-size-fits-all model portfolios. We're talking about portfolios that reflect their risk appetite, their tax situation, their goals, their values. Portfolios that reflect what matters most to them. And that's what I'm going to spend the rest of my time talking with you about this morning. Now, I spent the earlier part of my career in the industry patenting and building the first engine to drive personalization. Back then, it required a lot of complexity. Racks and racks of server rooms. This slide feels like it's about 20 years earlier than that, but maybe a little older than I realize. Dedicated fiber optic cables, 8,000-pound battery backup systems. Fortunately, we've seen a lot of advances in this industry. The cloud, compute capacity, software as a service, and now AI. We are committed to making personalization as easy as a prompt. Now, personalization involves a focus on outcomes unique to each client, an after-tax focus, because what clients take home is what matters. Risk management to smooth the ride for clients that hate turbulence. Values alignment, so portfolios reflect what actually matters to them. And household orientation, so that we work together as one holistic plan, not as separate accounts. These are the new levers. And when you use them intentionally, clients don't just get a portfolio, they get a portfolio that fits. That's what drives confidence. Now, we're not talking about the future. Here's what you told us in our last Wealth Tech survey. 70% of you are using tax solutions today. Focus on taxes is table stakes. 62% are planning to use or are using and adopting custom indexing. Personalization in the core portfolio is a must. and 84% said household level coordination is where the bar needs to be. We're going to get you there. Now, remember that 40% higher organic growth rate I mentioned earlier? That's not random. That's what happens when you combine scale with personalization. We are committed to delivering tailored client experiences at scale. That is how we win together. Now, earlier I talked about flying and that personal touch from the airlines, the upgrades, the rewards programs, the perks. As I reflect on my travel, and in no short part on the Miracle on the Hudson, I realize it's really not about a free drink or an early boarding. What I count on, what matters most to me, is that I get home safely every week to my family, to my life. That's the bedrock. That is the real personal connection. That is what gives me relentless purpose. Your clients, they're the same way. They might appreciate a nice report, quarterly reviews, a well-designed portal, but what they really count on, what really builds that personal connection, is knowing their portfolio is about them, that you understand their situation, that you are relentlessly focused on their goals. And that's where we come in. When you work with Orion, you're not losing that personal connection, you're strengthening it. We handle the complexity, the infrastructure, the discipline. We make it simple. And today, I'm excited to announce a significant advancement in our unified managed household strategy, delivered through a phased roadmap across 2026, beginning with our tax overlay tech. We will combine AI statement analysis, AI-generated tax transition proposals, and streamlined digital account opening. We are committed to helping you with what matters most, understanding your clients deeply, and building portfolios that truly fit. The opportunity ahead isn't just to personalize more, it's to do it better. Portfolios that reflect each client's priorities, exposure, taxes, risk, across their whole household. And in my experience, when you make it about the client, they trust you and they trust the process. And that's what gives them confidence when it matters most. Our job is to fuel that opportunity. And together, we help every client reach their goals, no matter how much turbulence they face along the way. Thank you.